Hey everybody! My name is Why Not, and welcome to another speed art video. This is a very special video we've got for today, because we are looking at a very, sadly, late Christmas video. I am joined here today not by my best friend Mouse, but my good friend Kairi, owner, creator, and I believe head illustrator of a comic called The Summerfields, also known as Colorblind. Say hi, Kairi!
Hey, Kairi. I am the creative director of Neptoon Comics and independently founded and ran a webcomics comic producer on the internet. We are a team of 4 people. There's me, there's Forrest, there's Desiree, and there's Clary. And Neptune Comics just sole purpose is to provide family, fun, friendly, awesome, amazing, next level comics to people. That's what I like to do, and that's what I've always wanted to do. And once I reached adulthood and started making that good old 9-to-5 money, I figured let me throw this into my passions. Because in life, that's what matters most to me, following one's passions.
That's a very sweet way to start things. I don't think I've ever been so sentimental on a video.
Oh, thank you. I've been told I'm emotional.
You've succeeded in your goal, though, specifically with your main and I believe currently only, I won't go into that yet, comic strip, The Colorblind, starring a beautiful family known as the Summerfields, which is the what we're actually drawing today. This was for a contest that Kairi was holding on his channel. He wanted to get more people interested in the show, in the characters, in the comic, and so he held a little Christmas contest that I entered. This took me, I think, 12 hours total to create the entire family.
So I need to lay it down for you guys. With the name Colorblind, yes, the series is called Colorblind. However, for obvious reasons, I couldn't get that name on Instagram, so I just went with the Summerfields.
Link down below.
When I labeled it all out, I had to come up with names for my series, and when I listed them all out, you had Colorblind, the Summerfields, or the family like values, or some crap like that.
I think that's already taken. Oh, this was such a fun prompt, and I'm happy I joined your contest. I've never actually drawn your characters before, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think you have either.
No, but it was a treat. It was more than a treat. It was a challenge.
Yeah, that part too. I have been told that my characters are very fun to illustrate.
Oh, very fun, very difficult. Like, as we saw in the earlier parts, I was having a lot of trouble with just anatomy, as I always do. And it actually took a while for inspiration to strike, because I didn't know what I was going to have them do outside of just opening presents on Christmas morning. I wanted them to all be together and be doing stuff that really illustrates who they are as characters, you know?
Yeah, definitely. And because, in the Colorblind series, family is a very big theme. So togetherness is definitely something that I feel it just inspires these feelings in people to where you realize, you know what, this is all I ever wanted.
Okay, well, let's get to discussing the characters for anyone who's unfamiliar with your work. Let's see. First and foremost, sort of in the order I drew them, we've got Addison, the father. We've got Dorcas, the mother. We've got the 2 sisters from left to right, that's Cheyenne and Lily, and the 2 brothers. We've got Peyton and JoJo.
All of them. Order, it's Lily, Cheyenne, JoJo, and Peyton.
Oh my God, when were Addison and Dorcas born?
Sometime before the kids, I think.
Long ago.
Hey, they're not that old.
Oh God, no. Dorcas is nowhere near that old.
And Dorcas is 38 at 40.
She does not have the body dimensions of a 40-year-old.
Not at all. See, the thing about it is Addison, though he's 40 years old, he's a young 40.
He's a young 40.
Listen to me. He was an athlete, so he is in good shape. So he just got to catch his fingers of the year. His father didn't poke him the way it did everybody else.
How tall is he again?
Anybody that's been voted by Parenthood.
Isn't he like 6'8", 6'9"?
Yeah, Addison canonically is 6'7".
6'7" tall.
and that's in bare feet, and he always wears nice shoes. So, yeah, he kind of walks around about 6'8", 6'9".
The man is a giant. Why is he so tall?
Well, believe it or not, I just wanted to like. Are you asking me Are you asking me as the creator of the character, or are you asking me as Addison's characterization?
You know what? Let's go with both, because I imagine that you have a weirdly symbolic reason for him being gigantic.
All right, so first let's go up with his characterization. Addison just has a very tall dad, and he just took after him. Addison never met his biological father, so that hasn't been revealed. I mean, it's been revealed, but in any comics, you never really see him talking about his past. It has been shown that he's very close to his mother. He talks to his mother a lot, and visits her. And there's comics that I've definitely written that just showcase how much of a mama's boy Addison really is.
I imagine that's why he makes such a wonderful father to his kids.
Yeah, because I'll talk about this more in a second, but yeah, there's a reason for that. Now, as the character creator, Addison is tall just because I wanted to make the tallest cartoon dad. That's why.
Well,
That's
you know what?
really
You have
I-
most
I'm
of them
saying
beat,
this
I
now.
think.
I just want to say this now, because throughout the course of all the questions that I've answered, you guys are going to realize a lot of the ideas I have, because I feel like people feel like writers do a whole lot of overthinking and overly analytical nitpicking about why they did the character this way or why they wrote this or why they created that. I'm kind of the opposite. I'll do something just because I feel like it or just because I think it's cool. Or like sometimes for a crazy reason, such as I just wanted to make a really, really tall cartoon dad. Like so that way when he's in fan art, he's always the tallest one there. And that was really what was going through my mind. That's why Addison is 6'7", and because Addison played college basketball, so he had to be tall.
He had to be. It only made sense. Well, now I don't feel like I have to ask why Dorcas is so wildly attractive. Oh, my God. Yeah.
Like, see, the thing about Dork, when you say wildly attractive, be specific.
I will not. I have kids who watch this program, probably.
All right. Watch my language.
Oh, my goodness. The woman is so... I don't know what to say, man. I feel bad, because she's also just so respectable as a person, you know?
Yeah, because, look, man.
She's freaking super mom over here.
Yeah, I wanted to make a mother character that was the best cartoon mom, but the best in her own way, not the best in a general sense. I mean, she's good at being her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, Dorcas can do Dorcas because she's not trying to be Marge. I'm not trying to be Marge Simpson or trying to be Francine Smith or trying to be Lois Griffin or trying to be Linda Belcher or trying to be anybody else. Like, she's just trying to be her.
Oh, I think she needs to be her. I don't think anyone else on Earth could wrangle these children, especially not Peyton.
Well, you see, Peyton, yeah.
Let's talk about Peyton a bit.
Yeah, let's talk about Peyton a bit.
Let's talk about the quote-unquote problem child.
Yeah, I see why he was picked as that, because everybody has, Cheyenne is called a sweetheart, the golden child.
She's
Peyton
baby.
is the problem child. Lily is the B-wordy one. And JoJo, I don't know. JoJo
always feels like the audience surrogate to me.
Yeah, the audience, a palatable one.
Yeah.
Like, if this was a novel, it would be told his point of view.
Oh. Peyton. I feel like I have to get this out in the open here. Peyton is an awesome remix of Bart Simpson, and no one can tell me otherwise.
It's funny to say that because do you notice that Peyton and Bart Simpson, and this was totally unintentional, I swear.
Wear the same
They
clothes.
have the same color scheme.
They got wild blonde hair, a red shirt, and blue shorts.
Yep. And the thing is, Peyton doesn't actually wear shorts. He wears pants, but he cuffs them.
He's an evolved Bart. I like to think his middle name would be Bartholomew.
Believe it or not, it's David.
David. Peyton David Summerfield.
Yep, Peyton David Summerfield. All the middle names of the killed children. Cheyenne has two middle names. Her full name is Cheyenne Tiffany Reed Summerfield. Joseph's real first name is Josephus, and only his dad calls him that. Dorcas will call him that when she's upset.
For good reason. That's a total mom move.
Exactly. And then, but all his siblings call him JoJo.
Oh, my
And,
God.
His full name is Josephus Avril, as in Avril Lavigne. Yeah, his middle name is Avril.
You have such rich culture and story built into all these characters. Like I can't imagine how long it took you to come up with so much of this.
Well, believe it or not, this is not my first time writing comics.
Oh yeah?
I can't go too much into it because it's a little spicy, but I have written comics way before Colorblind.
I believe that.
So when I started Colorblind, it was just more so avoiding some things, but I already had the skill, the momentum of how to craft the story, how to write the dialogue, and how to make a comic. I already knew what I was doing when I started this. Plus, like I said, this was a childhood thing that I was into, and I had been doing it for a long, long time. So it's just, hey, I want to make a comic that's more of a, centralized on a nuclear family. Like my version of what would be Rick and Morty or American Dad or Family Guy or Bob's Burgers. I want to make my Family Guy.
Oh yeah.
And that would be Colorblind.
You know what? While I have you here, you did say you loved the end of the piece, but I just want to ask, I'd like to discuss my thought process behind a few things in here specifically, mainly centered around what the family's doing and get your opinion on it.
Oh, yeah.
That's your King Summerfield here. The hardest part for me was, it wasn't matching the colors, it wasn't planning out poses, though that is always a pain. It was specifically, what are they doing on Christmas Day? Now, the first time I ever found you, I binged through your entire comic run. I believe I've told you about this before. I found it, I was bored in class one day over Zoom, and just decided to read everything you guys had ever posted. So I have a good bit of knowledge on these characters, I believe.
To hear you say that, I want to ask.
Yeah?
What was your favorite comic? Who was your favorite character? What moment made you laugh?
Oh, God.
What moment, actually, I know it's plural, so what moments made you laugh? Because I know there's plenty of them.
Over the entire series run?
Like what were your most memorable moments?
I'd be lying if I said my appearance in it wasn't a favorite.
Oh, of course. I imagine.
That's how you
imagine that? Like, you go from reading the comic
to suddenly I'm a guest star. For those who don't know, I'll flash it on screen right now. That's how Kairi and I became friends, basically. I won a contest coming up with a hilarious caption for something. I don't think I even won. I won second place, but that was still a win in my book. And I got to appear in a comic run during, I think it was 2 years ago, the Valentine's Day episode.
Yeah, that was going to be the, when Peyton, because I wrote a comic where Peyton got smooched by his babysitter, Darcy, and people loved that comic so much and fell in love with Darcy. So me, in true pandering fashion, I decided, you know what, I'm going to give my fans what they want because they wanted to see where this story ended up. So I wrote a comic where Peyton, it was called the Lovebirds event, and I hate that I haven't finished it yet, but the only reason I haven't finished it is because it was overwhelming my artist, so I'll put a pin in it. It will be resolved eventually.
That's going to be an epic moment in your comic lineup.
JoJo is taking his little girlfriend, Casey, on a birthday date, and the parents agreed to let him go on the condition that they chaperone the event. JoJo wants Peyton to go because he figures if Peyton comes, Mom and Dad will be too busy trying to referee him to pay attention to us, and we could probably have some fun and do our own thing. Peyton was like, no, sorry, bro, I'm not going to go. I'm going to stay with the babysitter because he wants to see Darcy again. He's in love with her.
Aww.
Dorcas calls Darcy, but it turns out she's not going to be able to babysit because she's going to the stands, even though she doesn't have a date. They're having a Valentine's Day dance. and couples get in free.
Aww.
So
Oh,
the
that's so
night goes,
sad.
JoJo's on his way out the door. They're going to their little movie date, and there's a knock at the door. Addison's like, all right, just make sure you're good for the babysitter. Addison's like, hey, she's here. Peyton's like, oh my God, my babysitter's here. He goes to the door and opens it, and it's not Darcy, it's Blythe, Kenzie's older sister.
Boo!
Yeah, and Peyton's like, what the heck is she doing here? Where's Darcy?
You probably
And
should have
so-
gone.
Yeah. Blythe tells them, don't worry, I'm going to take care of them, don't worry. And they do trust Blythe a little bit more. Addison says that because Blythe is actually an adult. So Peyton is upset about this. He goes to his room all sulky and mad and upset. When he walks past his sister's room and he hears them like all getting ready and seeing them all dressed up. So he goes in and asks them, what are you guys doing? Where are you guys going? And it turns out they're going to that Valentine's Day dance. He clicks. I got an idea. If you guys going to dance, if there's still hope. So he runs into his room, and next thing we know, the girls are confused, like, what is he talking about? And anyway, we'll be right out in 15 minutes. So what happens is Blythe orders him a pizza because she doesn't really want to be bothered with Peyton because she knows very well the type of person Peyton is. However,
Yeah.
she can manage him. So she orders him a pizza because he's just been up in his room not bothering her, and that's when your cameo came in. You were the driver.
I was working for an in-universe parallel to Grubhub.
Yeah, it was called Gate Grab.
You know, I believe we discussed afterwards, that kind of started off our friendship because we talked a lot more after that and we really
Yeah,
connected.
we did.
And
We
I
definitely
believe
did.
as we talked on, I decided, and you graciously allowed it, that canonically that is, like, literally Why Not Toonish. He just, for fun of it, hopped into another universe and just took up a job for no good reason.
Yeah, and then also scored a $50 tip on his first delivery.
Hell yeah, first day in the universe and I'm already making money.
Yep. So Blythe goes up there like, Peyton, knocking on the door like, I got your pizza. I got your pizza, pepperoni and pineapple, just like it's your favorite. But nothing opens. She tries to open the door, but it's locked. So Blythe is like, oh, you locked me out. Well, too bad your dad gave you the room key. So she opens the door and goes in. And she sees that the window is open and there's knots tied in some sheets and that he apparently escaped out of his room. And yeah, Blythe is like, I am still going to jail.
But yeah, that would be my favorite moment in Summerfield history. It leaves us on a massive cliffhanger that'll eventually be solved, and I got to appear.
Yep.
I showed up on Canonical.
Canon, man, you're canon.
But Peyton, because I know him so well at this point, I remembered from a single specific comic. I don't remember what it was specifically, but I do remember that he enjoys your universe's equivalent to Nerf.
Burp. Garf.
BERF.
And
It's Burf or Broken.
Yep.
But I decided to look up what a Nerf Tommy gun looked like, and I designed a Christmas version of it.
I saw that. And I thought that was a very awesome piece.
Oh,
Like,
it's
wow.
got to be the limited edition Christmas version, man.
Steve Gunn is actually really neat.
I had so
Like-
much fun drawing that.
Those when he goes delivers toys in the hood.
He's off firing it at his brother, who's just having a fun time. He's just trying to defend himself. Lily was actually the hardest to think of.
But that is.
Lily was the hardest person to shop for. I was actually talking to Dez while drawing this, and I was trying to subtly ask her questions about all the characters to give me an idea. And I settled on the conclusion of my initial idea was just get Lily something really expensive. So she's got a brand new iPhone covered in rhinestones.
That's nice. I mean, me personally, I would have put it more at her, like, because Lily does play guitar. She's self-taught.
Dang
And
it,
she
that's
also
right.
sings, also self-taught there, and she dances. So she's what they call in the entertainment world a triple threat, because she can sing, dance, and she can play. And the thing about Lily is she's actually good at what she does. She's good at. She hasn't done one yet, but she can actually bust a backflip with no hands.
And then
And
Cheyenne was easy just because it was just all plush and cute and soft and cuddly. And because I was also doing a massive collab, one that I do a lot, I decided, you know what, I'm going to give her the same present as Why Not. She's going to get a rainbow monkey.
And that it's kind of funny that you did that, because Tess and I we were talking about Rainbow Monkey, and like, you'll understand it when I post the next comic. You will.
Everyone, be on the lookout for that. By this point, it's coming out even sooner.
Yep.
I freaking love rainbow monkeys. I want one. Dorcas, though, I really wanted to do something special. And throughout the comics, there's been this running gag you have, which I'd like you to go a little more in depth on for the audience, and that is Davy Flex.
Okay, look, believe it or not, man, look, a few years ago, like, I ran a meme page on Instagram, and my posts over there were getting like 1,000 likes, hundreds of comments, and they were all memes that I myself made. I was pretty much just showcasing my sense of humor. And then I decided I would post these things to my stories where I would just ask people's opinions on rappers. So I would just post like a picture of Lil Yachty or Lil Uzi Vert or 21 Savage or Andre 3000 or J. Cole or Drake or Missy Elliott or Eve or Cardi B or Megan Thee Stallion. Or Megan Thee Stallion wasn't famous at this point, but you know, I would put it on my stories and have a poll. Are they trash or fire? Are they hot or not? And I just got this idea because I'd watched this video recently about how people will pretty much lie about things that they know or pretend to know things just so they don't appear out of the ordinary. So I just grabbed a random picture of this black dude off Google Images. I think I Googled like black thug or black rapper stock image, something like that. And I posted it, and I just named the guy Davy Flex, and then asked people, is he hot or not? And people actually responded as though they actually knew who Davy Flex was and said he was trash or fire. But I decided to take it a step further. I posted another picture of him and said, guys, how are y'all saying he's trash? Have y'all heard this mixtape? And I just made up something random. Like, have y'all not heard like the Diamonds on My Neck mixtape that dropped in 2004? Do y'all know that we're platinum in 13 countries? And then I framed the responses to where they had to admit that they heard of the guy. It was either, yes, I heard it and it was awesome, or yes, I heard it and it sucked. And people were actually responding like you know. And then I decided to take it a step further. And said, okay, guys, literally, to those y'all saying Davy Flex sucks, have you guys not seen him when he was in the movie? He did this movie, he co-wrote this with Michael Jackson. Didn't you guys see him perform live? And they were like, yes, and then I put the responses, yes, I've been to a Davy Flex concert, or yes, I've seen him perform, it was nothing special. And people were still pretending that they knew who this guy was.
Oh my God.
So I eventually came clean about the whole thing. Like, guys, look, I made all that shit up. Davy Flex isn't even real. Why did you lie? And everyone just like, okay, Kairi, I'm sorry you got me. I got so many DMs of people saying, I'm sorry that I lied, man, but you got me good. That was clever.
That's
and I decided,
awesome.
you know what? Let's make this a thing. So,
But
I actually made it to where like the running joke is that I made it on my page where I would post a picture of Davy Flex, and everybody would come to the comments saying R.I.P. Davy Flex. Because I was like, yeah, like he's like a fake Tupac, a fictional Tupac. He's just gone soon, but he definitely existed. And I say, when someone asks who Davy Flex is, you just have to make up all these great, wonderful, iconic, monumental moments or accomplishments and accolades and attribute them to him. So I had people come through and say like, hey, who's Davy Flex? And people say, bro, you don't know who Davy Flex is? Bro, he literally discovered Tupac. Or you don't know Davy Flex? Bro, he wrote the entirety of To Pimp a Butterfly. He produced Jay-Z's first album. Bro, Davy Flex literally discovered NWA. How do you not know Davy Flex?
I love Davy Flex. But
I kept the joke going on so long that I said, you know what? If I put Davy Flex in Colorblind, that's it. He's a part of pop culture. So that's what I did.
There's an I Love Davy Flex tattoo on Dorcas's rear.
Yep. I decided now when I came up with that comic, like here's the thing. Originally, well, I have the same story of hey, Dorcas has a tattoo on her butt. I didn't know it was gonna be Davy Flex. I was thinking, okay, well, I mean, the only way I could really make it make sense is if it was like something she did. and in tribute to her favorite musical artist. So I was thinking, okay, do I do Ice Cube? No, that seems weird. Do I do Tupac? No, that's cliche. Do I do Michael Jackson? Nah, Michael Jackson has Tet. That's not right. So it just felt right to do Davy Flex. I was like, hey, what about Davy Flex? And I was like, yes, Davy Flex. I'm a genius.
Well, he's better than all of them. He was originally going to be the main character in Space Jam.
Yeah, exactly. So you're already getting it. You're already getting on it.
Oh, but it's her favorite artist, and if you look, I did something very, very special for Dorcas here. Her Christmas present was always going to be an album, but because Davy Flex is dead, canonically, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe he's still alive, living on an island, still posting out music all the time. Davy Flex is alive!
Hey, you just gave me an idea.
Conspiracies! But I decided it would be awesome if somehow Dorcas got a limited edition, incredibly rare, signed copy of Flexin' on him. And it actually says, "Keep on rockin' Dorcas, Davy Flex." Signed and written by him.
Now that's nice.
Now, since he is dead, I'm not sure how that happened, but that was Dorcas's Christmas present for this. It was a signed copy from Davy Flex. If I had any writer's power in this series, I would just say that why not pretended to be Santa and left these all for them.
Hey, that would work for me.
You okay with that? Am I also canonical here?
I'm perfectly okay with that.
Why not broke into the Summerfield house as Santa?
And Addison's just sitting there like, hey, I'll take it.
Yeah, don't question
Same.
anything. Your family is so happy. Oh my god, I love injecting stuff like this. I respect the hell out of you and your team.
Like, see, the cool thing about it is that I pay insane attention to detail when I'm writing. Like, I pay attention to details that Des has actually even told me people won't care about. But the thing is, I don't care about them not caring. We're still going to do this thing.
Exactly. What matters is the story beneath the story.
Yes, seriously. Like, seriously. If everything is just surface level, I think that makes your series just kind of, honestly, brain dead, you know?
You guys are going to end up being... My only reference I ever go to for this is the equivalent to Five Nights at Freddy's. It's not about what's actually happening. It's about what goes on underneath, the core of all these characters. Why they are what they are.
And each character has a psychological profile, you know?
Yeah.
All the characters, especially Dorcas, they've been through some things. And there's, like, you know, reasons for why they are the way they are.
Well, you have to be if you're a perfect family.
Like, the way I describe it is they're perfectly imperfect.
Yeah. They're beautiful, man. I love the Summerfield.
Thank you. Like, the thing is, I wanted them to be a great deal more relatable. In order to do that, you got to humanize them with flaws.
Oh, absolutely.
So, and it's been shown, you know, I know times throughout the series that Lily does kind of bully her mom.
A little bit. Look, she's a teen, man. It happens.
Yeah, she's a teenager, but here's my thing. I wanted to explore the why. And not even in a general sense. Like, why does Lily Summerfield bully her mother? Why does Lily Summerfield have such a bad attitude? And I decided to portray Lily as someone who has also kind of been through some things. Because if you think about this, I never talked about the story of Dorcas's ex-husband. Well, and they weren't even married, but Dorcas's ex, Lily and Peyton's father. You see, Lily, I'll tell you this, man, but happy that I am going to put this in comic format.
For now, just give the audience a little taste of what to look for.
Yeah, so, I mean, basically, here's what happened with Lily and Dorcas and Peyton. So, when she started dating in college, this guy, it was relatively easy for him to get through to her and make her feel good, you know?
Yeah.
And this led to her having her first pregnancy. Now, the cool thing about it is that the pregnancy was ethical. Dorcas was not a teenage parent. She gave birth to Lily when she was 22 years old. But this was a 22-year-old guy. He was not ready to settle down. And this was when Dorcas was in like approaching her final year of college. So she's now a single mother. This guy doesn't really stick around. So here she is with a daughter still in college doing her studies and then like living on in the dormitory. Then she finally finishes college, has a single and still has an infant she has to feed. And I'm trying to get an apartment with this guy, but he doesn't want an apartment. He's still philandering. I mean, Dorcas's ex is a frat boy, like in every sense of the word. So what ends up happening is Dorcas gets her own apartment, but she doesn't get a job in her career field. She's working at a freaking like fast food joint in the mall and barely making rent, barely able to afford groceries. It's not a good situation. One night, the same guy, Lily's dad, he comes by and he's like, "Hey, Dorcas, here's some money for you. I'm sorry, I haven't been right. I have a daughter now. I need to step up to the plate, not up to my responsibilities. I'm gonna be better now. I want to be here." And she's like, "Do you mean it? Because I've needed your help for months now." And he's like, "Yes, I mean it." So they end up living there together, and things are good 2 months up until Dorcas ends up pregnant again.
Oh.
And as soon as he gets the news that Dorcas ends up pregnant,
He runs off.
He runs off, but it's horrible. The way this is what really happened. It's horrible. He ran off. 2 weeks later, he comes back, and he says he wants to spend some time with Lily. He went right now. Like this was in the this was at a point in like it was in the mid 2000s. So we didn't have Facebook to where you could find people like that. So when he disappeared, it was a lot easier to disappear back then than it is now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he shows up one day and he says, "Look, I'm going to take Lily out to the store. I want to buy something for Lily." So Lily, it's her birthday. So he takes Lily to the store and says he's going to buy her favorite thing. Lily wants this big old Barbie dollhouse. It costs about $400. He buys her that dollhouse. They go back to the apartment and he tells Lily, "This is for you. And I want you to just play with it. You're going to have a good day today. It's your birthday." Now, he gives her a long hug, gives her a kiss on the forehead, and then he tells her that, "I'll be back." He leaves and he never came back.
Well, that is a tragic story.
It's tragic, and it's also messed up because I picked it that way because I felt like people would expect the baby daddy to be a horrible guy, and he is, but the way it is, he's horrible, but he thinks he's doing something good because he pretty much bought his daughter a going away gift,
Yeah.
which is horrible. So Dorcas knew exactly what he was doing, and he was just pretty much saying, "Look, I'm sorry, but I don't want you guys as a family. I'm not ready for this yet. I'm too young. I'm not ready." You know, Will's dad from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah.
That's what went on. So he left. Dorcas couldn't afford that apartment anymore, and she ended up moving back to California to live with her dad. By this point, it was just her dad, Nora, and Dorcas, and Lily. Nora was at high school at this point, and Dorcas was still in her early 20s, living at, well, she was in her mid-20s now, like 25, with a 3-year-old daughter, still living at home and still wasn't working in her industry. And then one day she goes to the store, and she ended up beating Addison.
Oh, and we all know that story.
Yep.
Oh,
And that's what happened with Dorcas.
that is a miserably tragic story I didn't think we were going to get into here.
Yeah, I wanted to write that comic a long time ago, but I was like, nah, it's just not the time. I just have to feel ready for it.
Well, now the audience knows about it, so pretend to act surprised if he ever does that, everybody.
And even then, how many people are going to see this?
Oh, knowing my fan base, maybe -8.
Well, hey, this will be a good little relic that'll be on the internet, so that way, when I can find this comic, when I post this comic, people can come back to this video and say, "Hey, he spilled all details."
You know, hopefully enough people watch this. We've been going on for quite a while. It'll hopefully be cut.
Story.
It'll hopefully be cut down in editing.
Now with Addison, and I'll just kind of paraphrase this one, but
Go right
I
ahead.
had the opposite upbringing of Dorcas. You see, Dorcas grew up in a two-parent household. They had money because her dad had a good job, and they were never hungry. They never really wanted for anything, and things were great. Addison didn't have it like that. Addison was raised by a single mother. By the time he was born, his dad was long gone, and he, for the most part, he had to grow up early, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. He had responsibilities at a very young age.
Yeah, he had responsibilities as a young age, and that included cleaning, cooking, watching over his sister, because even though Addison was older than Sherry, he was a lot bigger than her. People often thought that he was the older sibling because being that he's 6'7", he had tall jeans. Addison was already about 5'5" tall by the time he was 10. So he often he was treated, even though he was a kid, he was treated and reacted to based on his size. And at 5'5", you're around the size of most teenagers and adults. So he grew up fast.
Oh yeah,
And
that's almost as tall as I am.
When Addison was around 11, when Addison was around 10 years old, that was when his mother started dating his stepdad, who ended up dying a few years afterwards. But that's how he has his younger sister, Clarice. But that's what ended up happening with Addison. He had to be a provider and a protector from a young age. So when he met Dorcas, the attraction to her was also, just kind of fueled by the fact that not only did he actually think this was a beautiful woman, once he got to know her and heard about her situation, it just activated his inner, nurture.
The man was born to be a dad.
He really was.
You created a man who is so relatable that he actually reminds me of my father.
Thanks, man. Would you believe me if I told you that I was raised by a single woman?
You know what? I could believe it. But you know what? While we're wrapping up here, do you have anything you'd like to say to your loyal team behind the camera, behind the comic, behind the art, behind the whatever it is?
Well, behind the scenes, I guess you would say, but technically we're all behind the scenes.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, my team is Forrest, Clary, and Desiree, and I love these guys. These guys are just so fucking awesome because I don't want to share. I don't want to hog all the glory because honestly, it's I don't deserve all the glory. These guys are talented, skilled artists, and the fact that the four of us come together and make something so beautiful that so many people love, and the fact that we all hope to be doing this as our career one day, we're all on the same page as far as the Neptoon Comics creative team. We love what we do. I love who I work with, and I'm so glad that I met these guys. I hope the team grows with, more dedicated and loyal artists. And I still love who I have right now, too. Because without them, look, I can't draw at their level. So without them, Colorblind would not be where it is. And for that, I love those guys.
Well, I think you have a great chance of having your team grow, Kairi. I may not be able to have any real skill on par with any of you guys, really. I mean, if you're watching this on my channel, you guys know what I do. I am nowhere close to anything that Desiree draws. I'm not good enough as a writer.
Desiree is actually working on a couple of personal projects right now that she's gonna end up posting, and you guys will definitely be on the lookout because she is, oh my god.
Link down below.
I could link her profile, but there's no link to comic yet because it's still in development.
Hey, you guys had better be on the watch out for that. She is freaking rad.
He is.
But personally, I would be honored to work for you guys in any manner. Just a kind-hearted team, beautiful souls, all of you.
Thank you, why not?
But that's about it for us here today. Kairi, before we finally close out, you got anything you want to say? Any mentions or any plugs?
Just follow Neptoon Comics. Follow our Instagram page. We actually do have more. And when I say more, I'm not just talking about Colorblind. We have more coming. And I'm sure you guys are going to love that too.
All of it will be linked in the description below as many times as I can.
Thank you.
But that's been our time today. I hope everyone had a very Merry Christmas. I'm sorry this couldn't have come out sooner. We're all dealing with the holidays, of course, even in the aftermath now when this has been posted. But I certainly hope you guys enjoyed hearing from Kairi. I hope you enjoyed my latest speed art. And as always, he's been the head of Neptoon Comics. I've been Why Not, and I hope you're entertained. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.